In the world of buying new golf clubs, there are often decisions to be made. In today's video, I have two drivers which could well be the best drivers of 2025. However, there's a huge difference in these drivers. How do they both perform? How do they both feel? And what do they both cost? Let's find out. Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson and welcome back to this YouTube channel. Guys, first things first, if you're new here, welcome. Please do consider hitting that subscribe button for free daily golf related videos. Today I have the 11 NH01 mini driver and you can see this thing looks absolutely fantastic. Now this will set you back £239. You can see you can get it customized with your initials or logo or whatever you want on it. But I'm a huge fan of what 11 have been doing in the modern era when it comes to golf, because they're making fantastic yet affordable golf products. And we also have today the PXG Secret Weapon mini driver. Now this thing also performs incredibly well. You can see we have all the adjustment under the sun here. We have an adjustable hosel, we have adjustable weighting, and we have lots and lots and lots that we can go for. But which one performs better for the price? That's exactly what we're going to find out here in the golf course and of course in the studio. And we're just peeling them now, aren't we? Okay, so when it comes to differences to these two golf clubs, you'll see initially there is a huge price gulf between them both. The PXG is almost double the price of that of the 11. Now I've been fitted into both of these clubs and funnily enough, I've been fitted into exactly the same KBS TD shaft. So these could perform incredibly similar. I have them set on exactly the same loft of 11 degrees. We also have adjustable weighting in the PXG, which I think could be a huge advantage and a huge game changer. If we look at in fact, let's just hit some, because I've been lucky enough to play golf with both these clubs. So this is going to be a really in-depth comparison. And I must say, I absolutely love both of these clubs. Now, one of the things that I think is a really interesting side note here is they both sound totally different. So I was just about to say that the PXG does feature that carbon crown, which all the PXG Black Ops fairway woods and drivers do feature, and that allows PXG to move that mass around wherever they want it to. It also allows you to move the mass around so you can potentially set it up exactly how you want it. You see that first shot there was a little bit big high fade just at the right hand side of the fairway. Now what I like about the PXG is because just because we've hit one nice high tee shot doesn't mean they're all going to be that really high ball flight. Potentially I can flight this down, I can hit that little knockdown, which I do love to hit with a mini driver, and for me that's why this is certainly one of the best clubs of the year. Now sound and feel wise, it doesn't feel quite as nice as the 0311 Black Ops driver, because that is one of the best sounding and feeling drivers of the year. But you can see there, that's a much more penetrating straight ball flight, straight down the middle. And I must admit, if ever you are struggling with your driver, one of these has to be an option for you. They feel fantastic, they sound amazing. They're still a little bit more affordable than a modern day driver, especially, we can't say the word affordable without jumping in to the 11 NH mini driver, can we? Because this thing, now I've used this driver in Spain, I've used this driver in America, I've used it all over the world. It doesn't have a movable weight, but it does have this. Now just listen to how good this strike sounds. That's exactly the same shot as the first PXG that we hit, and it almost sounds, I can only compare it to almost like a persimmon head. It sounds incredible. It also, because it sounds incredible, feels very, very nice as well. So that was the nice high one that we hit on the first shot. Now, can we play this down? I know we can because I've played it before. And the big question already in this video, before we even jump inside and look at the numbers, is which one would you buy if you were spending the money? Because that's where I try and take all these videos to. If you were spending your money, would you spend £400 plus in the PXG, or would you spend £200 plus on the 11? Now, different people will answer differently to this because the PXG does have benefits. But when you see this next shot, you might think slightly, I've got the wrong club. It's amazing how similar they do look, even though the 11 doesn't have a carbon crown. This might shock you. Yes, please. Yes, please. Now, rather interestingly, both these clubs are either sold out or look like selling out. I know PXG are struggling to get hold of their secret weapons because, let's be fair, they are absolutely fantastic. And they've been out for some time. They've been out a couple of months, so they are kind of shifting stock really, really quickly, which I would have anticipated. Now, the 11 clubs, I believe they have still got some left, but again, you look at just the price they're churning out at, the quality of shaft, the quality of grip, the quality of all the kind of components in these clubs, both I think will probably sell out this year. And it makes me wonder, first of all, why don't the brands make more of these mini drivers? Because mini driver has been a movement which I think isn't just a money-making movement for the brands, but it's a scorecard movement to hit more fairways and shoot lower scores. If I can get this bag up, shoot lower scores. Now for me here, often there is a kind of clear winner, sometimes before you even go into a comparison like this, but I really love what both these brands are doing. I love what PXG are doing with the 0311 Black Ops range. I actually think if I had to use one brand this year, if you were gonna sign a club deal, you would probably look at PXG because driver, fairway, hybrid, irons, wedges, and even the Allen putter and the ball are all absolutely fantastic. But then you look at what the guys at 11 are doing for making golf easier, more accessible, and more affordable. Again, they're smashing it. Okay, so you can see the two low shots that we hit in the fairway. That is the 11 shot, the final shot we hit, and we have the PXG just up there, a little bit further, still in the fairway, but in that little mound. And the two high shots we hit, the wind took them a little bit, and still you can see neck and neck for distance. However, the PXG is the kind of further one to the right. So realistically there, what do you give it? I mean, it all comes back to price, doesn't it? If it's performing similar for half the price, I don't know. Tough one. And now with all the talk of price, with all the talk of performance, with all the talk of hitting fairways, I'm well aware that a lot of people here just purely want to see which the best of these mini drivers are, because the first company I often think about when it comes to mini drivers isn't PXG, it isn't 11, it's actually TaylorMade. TaylorMade have been making the best mini driver on the market for years, but it's nice now that so many other competitors are starting to have a go, such as Callaway, such as PXG, such as, I heard there's a Cobra one on the horizon. And the fact that we have the 11 option, which again runs cheaper, is a great coup. This is the 11. Can we just draw it round this corner? It's not a draw, but it's straight down the middle of that fairway, and that's what I have found with this 11 mini driver. Because it has that 10 gram weight in the back, it's not necessarily as movable, but is that what you want with a club like this? Do you want it to be movable, or do you want it to look this good and just go pretty straight, to be honest? Because I do often feel that is why you want a mini driver. That's two carbon copies. And although they don't have the movable weight options in here, you can order them online with that hot melt option. So that's exactly what a lot of tour trucks do offer their pros. You'll not mess around moving weights, you'll just put a bit of hot melt in the heel or in the toe or forward, and that just changes the CG for you. Now, one thing I think 11 also do very well is that adjustable loft sleeve. The adjustable loft sleeve can adjust loft, it can also adjust lie angle, which you don't often get in those more affordable clubs, so well done. But if we are going to talk adjustability, we have to delve into this PXG secret weapons arsenal, because it has 4 movable weights here, as you can see. They all change and shift CG to offer you a slightly different ball flight, and PXG's club fitting is second to none. I've had a couple of PXG fittings and they are absolutely fantastic. I love the look of this carbon crown as well. It's a real winner for me. And that's going to be a really interesting comparison, because that's a very similar ball flight to the first two 11s, but it did look a little bit more powerful, like it came off a little bit hotter. Would it have to come off more than a little bit hotter for the price? that's up to you. Let's try and hit another one the same and see where these finish. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can see why Jason Knapp put this in the bag on the PGA Tour. And I guess that's actually more validation in itself, the fact that the PXG has been played on tour and won on the PGA Tour by some of the best players in the world. Does that bother you? It doesn't bother me. It might bother other people. Tour validation is a very interesting thing when you're talking about a forgiving, probably mid-handicap club, which would benefit so many golfers. Now, what I liked about all four of those tee shots and what I like about the whole mini driver concept is the consistency levels that I've just seen there. They were four of the most consistent tee shots I've hit on this hole pretty much ever. It's quite a difficult tee shot. Really, you need to get it turning right to left if you were using a full length driver, a full size driver. But that's the beauty about these clubs, well, not all these clubs, but those clubs in the bag. Essentially, it's just plod it. Just hit it, plod it, get it down there and keep moving. Yes, you're going to lose probably 10, maybe 15 yards, but if you can really keep the ball in play, and even on holes that you maybe struggle, I think they can really, really help. And some golfers might actually hit them further because shaft length doesn't mean anything if you're not hitting the middle of the club face, which a lot of golfers don't. Ball speed over club head speed all day long. So we have the first shot, the 11 there, fairway, right hand side, second shot with the 11 there, fairway, and we actually have the PXG there, neck and neck with the 11, and the final shot, which I absolutely nailed, actually ran out of fairway down towards the rough there. So we've missed one fairway, and it was with the PXG, but we've missed it because it's gone that bit further because of probably the low spin and the launch. I mean, where do you go with this? A lot of my titles say clear winner. I don't know if there can be one. I don't know if there can be one. Okay, let's talk numbers for this 11 mini driver. I've been really looking forward to testing this bad boy for numbers because I've enjoyed it so much out on the golf course. I've had some fantastic results with it. We're going to tee up nice and low, see what we can get. I think anything around that 260 mark is a pretty good hit with this driver. Straight away off the bat, that sounds phenomenal. It's a little bit high, that one. I've cut across it a bit. That's going to carry 230 up there at 245. Quite high spin there at 3,600. And that is the bad shot if I'm going to hit it out on the golf course with this. Just a little bit weak, a little bit high and right, but it's in play. It's up there at nearly 250, like we've been seeing. So it's that kind of safe miss. Look at that. That was out of the toe as well. When we see where I've struck that from, up there at 240 odd, it's up towards 260 toe, 3,600 spin. And you can see on the replay that that's come miles out of the toe, which I can't believe how good that's done for us realistically. That's better. That's that nice lower spin number. If it's going to pitch above that 250, which it has, 253, 275, 276 total. So one of the areas I think 11 could potentially improve with this driver is potentially just having movable weights on the bottom there. You can see we have that movable loft sleeve and you can fit that for loft and lie angle, but a lot of the mini drivers now do have adjustable weights. And that's frighteningly good. That sound is phenomenally good. It really is. Pretty much a 250 carry, releasing up to 270 yards. 1900 backspin, so we're getting that nice low spin even though we have that 10 gram weight at the back, which we can't swap with anything at the front, and that lovely peeling left to right ball flight. Really, for the price, I'm really, really impressed with this. That's just that nice stock shot, so I'm not trying to play it lower, not trying to bring the spin rate down. It's a very similar carry, 248 yards, 265 total, so it's releasing out nicely. And it's kind of doing the job that I want it to do, even without the adjustability that potentially you could get with others. And I don't think I'm going to hit much better than that, to be totally honest with you. 275 again, 1900 spin, bang smack in the middle of the fairway. Now let's have a look and compare it against PXG's secret weapon, because these actually look quite similar. Really, 275 is the distance to beat. Straight away, it does look smaller down at the ball, this. And a little bit of a louder sound as well. The sound's very much kind of tinnier compared to the 11. Not the best strike, 230, 250 total. That felt really good. Sub 2000 spin, just up the left side, pitching 254, releasing up. Straight away, 279 total. That's the longest one we've hit. Nice low spin. It was a bit pulley. That's going to be in the left-hand rough when we're playing. And that's really nice again. It's a nice spin number, that 2.6 with this, if it's just a nice stock shot. 252 carry, 273 total. Again, just favouring that left side. I feel like that is me all day long with any kind of driver, to be honest. And that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. 1700 spin, 263 carry. Bobby, this is nearly a 290 yard mini driver. I do feel like that's the ability to move the weights around. I've got the heavy weight forward here and it's just 1700 spin, launching nicely. Really, really impressive distance there on the PXG. And that's a very similar shot. Again, 1800 spin that time, nicely down the fairway, a little bit more cut it. I feel like potentially the 11's the more forgiving club, but if you're wanting to really get it out there, I feel like the PXG really is just allowing me to send it just that little bit more with that low spin. That is unbelievable, isn't it? And that should really be spinning more than 3000 there, but again, 260 carry, because it's that little bit higher, it's a 278 toe. It's bang smack in the middle. And I feel like to compare these two clubs, because the price almost isn't fair, but you can certainly see what PXG have done with these weights. That's the one. That's the one right there, go on. 260 again. 285, bang smack in the middle. Let's get back outside and finish this. Okay, so to finish off, a lot of people will use these mini drivers instead of 3-woods. Now, if you're going to do that, you probably want the 13-degree model playing at standard lie and standard loft, so you can get it off the fairway. These are both set at 11 degrees, but I think there is a clear winner in this section because basically, we're going to finish this video off by the best shot wins off the deck. We've got the PXG first. We're into the wind with best part 240 yards out. It's going to be a good one. And the PXG, look at that, that is on it. Be good. Slight fade, but it's always going to be off the deck. That's pitched. Stay there. I can see that. That's pitched on the right-hand side of the green. Luckily enough, it's stopped because it's fairly damp and it's on the right-hand side. So that's a chip and a putt for your birdie. Now the 11 is slightly bigger in head design. Now that's perfect for off the tee, but for off the deck, it's a little bit more daunting. I'm not saying you can't do it, but it just doesn't look as natural as the PXG. And then you go and hit that. That's fading in all over the flag. I honestly think that's pitched like 3 feet away. But this isn't where I anticipated this going, but I need to find out where they finished. That is unreal. Okay, sorry about the excitement there, but if you don't get excited about shots like that, I don't know why any of us would bother playing golf. But we have the PXG just over the right hand side of the bunker. That landed on the green, so it was a lovely long high shot. And the 11, just there, actually finished just short. So it was a much higher ball flight, which actually I was pleased with, because when you hit a mini driver, you kind of do want that a little bit of a higher ball flight to be able to get the carry distance. It has stopped dead as well. Now, I'm going to give that to the 11, because you look at where exactly we have left there. I think you're much more likely to go up and down from there than you are from all the way across the green. You can probably even put that potentially for your Eagle. But guys, to summarize, if I was an incredibly serious golfer and I loved the club fitting element, PXG obviously offer an outstanding service, outstanding facilities and an amazing product. But if I wanted to save a little bit of money, I wanted a club that does perform incredibly well for the price with the same premium components, I think there's a club out there for everyone, and I absolutely love where golf is going in 2025. That's for Eagle, by the way. Ah!